Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the United Regional Chamber of Commerce's update. We appreciate you tuning in and listening to us on WARA Radio. Um, we try and bring in some interesting guests and some programs that will be affecting the local communities. Let me ask, have you ever wanted to start your own business? Have you ever wanted to work for yourself? Well, I'm excited to introduce our guest this week. Her name is Donna Criscuolo, and she's the executive director of EforAll South Coast, which is expanding up here into the Attleboro area and into the United Regional Service area. So I'd like to introduce Donna. Donna, say hello.
Hi, thanks, Jack, for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to see you coming up our way. You were recommended to us by Tim Cole, one of your mentors, and Catherine Feerick, the Economic Development Director for the City of Attleboro, and that weird guy that I'm doing a lot of stuff with, Rick Kidder. He's my counterpart at the South Coast Chamber. Great guy.
Yeah, all good people. Tim Cole is also the chairperson of my local advisory board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very, very involved with the program.
Yeah, he's been involved in a lot of the programs and the nonprofit stuff in the area and does a great job for us.
Yeah.
So glad he had the opportunity to get us together, and we're going to do some partnerships and try and help some of our local entrepreneurs. So first off, tell me, what is EforAll?
So the E in EforAll stands for entrepreneurship. So it's entrepreneurship for all. And we are a nonprofit. We are in 9 sites in Massachusetts, and we have a site in Longmont, Colorado. We are expanding nationally. You'll see 6 new sites across the country this year, which is pretty aggressive, but there's such a need out there. Basically, we help people start businesses. We give them the tools and foundation that they need to be able to work on their business as opposed to working in their business, and to launch successfully with a solid foundation of knowledge.
I know that you have different classes, and I believe there was one today, and there's another one coming up on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. And is that the accelerator?
Yeah, so what's happening right now is we have applications open for the accelerator. The accelerator is a year-long program. It starts with the first 3 months of being this intensive process where you're in the classroom with us for over 60 hours of business education. And then after the first 3 months, we celebrate you, and you get the top businesses get awarded some micro funding. But then you stay with the program for the remaining 9 months, and we continue to help you reach your goals, get you connected to resources, and ensure that you have a solid launch. And I think what you're seeing now are the workshops for the accelerator. So we're out in the community talking to potential entrepreneurs, for people who don't know what they're doing is actually a business or has the potential to be a business, and letting them know about our programs.
Well, I know that we shared some of that in our weekly e-news this week, and it's out on social media. We do encourage you folks to check them out on social media and on their website, because they've got tremendous resources. And as most of you know, we're really working on bringing business to our region, especially into the city of Attleboro. And this is going to give folks the opportunity to see if they got what it takes to open up a business. This isn't for the shy folks. If this is something that you want to do, EforAll is going to give you the tools, give you the work plan. You've just got to be able to buckle down and do it. Now, you said 60 hours, but that's spread out over how long?
Yeah, so the accelerator is our free program. It's the heart of what we do. And so the first 12 weeks, you have 5 hours a week in the classroom with us on 2 different days of the week. So each class is different content. We start, our curriculum is based on the business model canvas. So we start there. We start with, what is your value proposition? What makes you different from your competition? And then we move into customer discovery. Who's your customer? Because, if you are a baker, you think, well, everybody eats, and so everybody likes my cookies. The truth is, that's just not the fact. Everybody is not your customer. So who are you really focused on? And once we kind of put those foundational building blocks in place, we then take you through every other aspect of business that you need to understand, including reading your financial statements so that you could make really good, solid business decisions and understand how to follow your market and pivot and move with your customer versus trying to sell hamburgers to vegetarians.
And during that whole process, you and I had a brief conversation. You offer some mentorships. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so this is what makes our program very unique. So during the first 12 weeks, each business will be matched with a team of 3 mentors. These mentors come from the community. They're people who have run businesses, who have owned businesses, who just have a great knowledge and wisdom that they want to pay forward to the next generation of business owner. And so you meet with them weekly during the first 12 weeks for 90 minutes, and they really act as your initial board of directors. They're your sounding board. They help you to make decisions, get you to think differently. They also help to walk you through our curriculum, because we understand that the entrepreneur, they're learning a new language, and this is the first time they might be hearing the word income statement. What does that mean? And what are all these terms? So the mentors are really there to be that support system. And the mentors also open up their networks. So they're helping the entrepreneurs to build social capital from out of the gate, which is really key.
That's very, very important. It's not just what you know, it's who you know. And, as for us in the chamber world, that's probably one of our biggest assets is the introductions that we make and the deals that we put together. And that's what these mentors are going to do. If they find value in what you're doing, they would not hesitate to reach out to their circle of influence and recommend you or introduce you to other influencers who can help you grow your business.
Yeah.
Now, who does this program serve?
So we work with, EforAll is really intentional about the communities that we go into. We work in what are considered gateway communities. In other words, these are the cities that, maybe got decimated by a big mill or a big company moving out. And so they're in the process of rebuilding their economy. And we particularly serve people who are under-networked, under-resourced, wouldn't have access to this type of programming, don't have any social capital to draw on. Look, starting a business is really hard and it's very lonely. And so you need to have access to resources in order to really succeed. And that includes like-minded people around you, other small business owners who really get it. So our alumni are basically 74% are women. Women are the emerging new business owners for a multitude of reasons. 58% of our graduates are people of color. 46% are foreign born, and another 39% were previously unemployed. So people see starting a business as a path out of unemployment, and it absolutely is. And we're really hoping that, especially with, what happened in 2020 and COVID, that we can serve more of those people that, have an idea and they're not sure what to do or how to get started, but they know they want to take control of their future. And entrepreneurship is a path for that.
Absolutely. And it's great to see some of these small emerging businesses that are starting to open up and starting to grow in our region. And this is just one of the spectacular resources that are out there for you. As Donna just mentioned, this first program, the Accelerator, is at no cost to you. You have to put your time in. If you're willing to put your time in, the benefits far outreach whatever investment that you've decided to put into it, because she's going to put you in touch with folks who have been in the trenches, who have started their own business, who have gone sometimes weeks without a paycheck, but they know what it takes to build a business, to build your network, and they're going to help you do that. Now, you mentioned also there's some volunteer opportunities. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we're a grassroots community-based organization. We are in the communities that want to work with us and want us there. So we rely on the community to help us build the community. And everything we do starts with an application process. And so the first point of volunteering is to read and score applications. So you would literally, from the comfort of your home, in what we call a reading window, we have pockets of time where we're reading applications to move the entrepreneurs to the next step. You're reading and scoring applications on a scale of 1 to 5. We give you everything you need to do. It's all online. But the most important thing you're doing with reading is you're providing feedback to the entrepreneur. Feedback to someone starting a business is a gift and it's vital. And so that feedback, we consider it technical assistance, really moves the entrepreneurs, maybe some who aren't quite ready for our program. When we see them the second round, we see that they've incorporated that feedback. So if you have an interesting background or you're curious about, what kind of businesses are budding in your area, reading applications is the easiest way that you can get involved with us. Mentoring is the most time consuming, but it's also the most rewarding. It is that 90 minutes a week for the first 3 months. And then for the remainder 9 months of the program, it drops down to just a once a month meeting. However, I will say that these relationships build and they last a lifetime. And that's what you want. You want to have people around you, a team around you that you can count on through thick and thin. So mentoring is really where we're recruiting now for volunteers, but we're also looking for people to be judges, because in the end, EforAll is a competition. We don't stress that because we're really about building community. But at the end of the 12 weeks, these entrepreneurs will be competing for money, and they'll be making a presentation in front of a panel of judges. And again, we pull from the community to make those decisions. And then our local advisory board makes a decision of who gets awarded some funds, some microfunding to help get them to the next level.
And what does it cost to get involved in the program?
It costs nothing. If you're a volunteer, it just costs your time. And if you're an entrepreneur, again, it just costs your time. We are a nonprofit organization. We partner with the community. We rely on public support for our funding and to help us run our programs and to keep them free. But the truth is, like, you get out what you put in. So as you said, Jack, it takes a lot of work to start a business. And let me tell you, we put entrepreneurs through their paces before they even get into the program. And then we keep up that pace because in some measure, we're seeing, what are you made of? You know, what is your grit? Are you going to be able to survive the ups and downs of entrepreneurship? And are you going to be able to be in it for the long haul? It's not just a whim. You know, when you're starting a business, you're taking on a responsibility, not just for your own future, but if you're employing people, you're part of an ecosystem. And so we want to know that you have what it takes to really commit yourself. So there's a lot of hoops we make entrepreneurs jump through. And if they can get through that, they're well on their way.
Starting a business is very, very tough. You know, I've been sitting in the seat for a little while, and we've watched a lot of people succeed. And unfortunately, some people didn't succeed because it takes an awful lot of work. It takes a lot of patience. Your stress level some days is, hey, I used to have hair before I did any of this other stuff.
My hair used to be straight.
Tell us, how did EforAll get started?
Yeah, so back in 2016, EforAll was known as the Merrimack Valley Sandbox, and it was started by a man named Desh Deshpande who did this in India. He comes out of the tech world, and he put something together in India as a means to help, you know, the impoverished really start to get themselves out of poverty by starting businesses. And he loved that idea, and he brought it here to the US. So he started in the Merrimack Valley. So Lowell is our original site. That's where our headquarters is now. And the South Coast, the site that I run, was the second expansion out of Lowell. So we've been around, we're in our 6th year now. And we've launched, you know, as I said, 9 other sites throughout the state, and we're going nationwide. So we have a proven model. We know that it works. We're constantly refining it. We believe in feedback, and we're constantly getting feedback from our participants and our volunteers and community members and partners to make sure that we're providing the best support we can to the ecosystem. But we've been around for a little bit, and we just keep opening new sites. We now are getting approached by communities. Can you please come and help us? I think with the advent of COVID and the shutdown of the economy, everybody fully now recognizes how invaluable your small business is in your community. The big box stores are great, but it's really your local, whoever you go to for your baked goods, your shoe repair, your dry cleaner, your cup of coffee, your favorite pub or restaurant. All of those businesses really are the lifeblood of a community and what make up a community. And those are the types of businesses that we support. We're not necessarily in the tech arena. We're more Main Street, but we do see some tech companies come through EforAll as well.
Well, tech companies have to start somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
Look at Jeff Bezos. He started on the door across 2 sawhorses.
Selling books.
Yes. Well, what are some of the other areas that EforAll can benefit the community besides starting, you know, these entrepreneurs on the right path?
We're a good resource connector. I spend a lot of my day connecting people to one another. We tend to be the hub, you know, like if people come through EforAll, entrepreneurs, mentors, you know, other volunteers, and then we connect them to the rest of the ecosystem. So even if you aren't interested in our program, come talk to us. Like, we're so happy to help plug you into someone else in the ecosystem to get you where you need to be. And that's the thing I love about this area, is that we're so collaborative. We're always, working together and sharing each other's information and programs. And if you start with me with EforAll and it's not the right place for you, I'm not going to force you into our program. I'm going to connect you to the person that's right for you, to the agency or the organization that is best suited to you. And I can say that's true of all of my resource partners. We also get involved in, all kinds of things. EforAll sits on the partnership for TDI Fall River, and we're really working to help existing small businesses, which is a little out of our wheelhouse because we deal with early stage entrepreneurs, but we understand that everybody needs support and needs help and needs connection to community. And so we build community along the way.
Well, one of the things, that Donna just mentioned, even if you yourself are not interested in entering the program, you might know somebody that you've been saying for years, hey, you ought to do that for yourself. Talk to Donna, pick up the phone, send her an email, let her talk to you. Let her talk to that individual, because there's so many opportunities out there, and she can open up the gates to some things that folks don't even know is out there. That's one of the other things about dealing with a mentor. You may have gotten your game plan all set, but you didn't think of something. And when you speak to a mentor and they're going to tell you, well, I needed this, I needed that, you might say to yourself, oh, I didn't even think about that the first time. I'm glad I heard that from an outside source. And that's exactly what EforAll is going to do for all of us. And I'm so glad and excited that you've decided to partner with us as well as the other chambers in the area. Mm-hmm. We want to bring in as many businesses and new entrepreneurs to our region as we can. And if there's any way that we can help them, we want to be here as a partner to EforAll. So, Donna, is there any final things that you'd like to leave us with?
Yeah, we have an application open until April 22nd, which is for the Summer Accelerator. We run the program twice a year, so it starts in June. The next one will be in December. So if you know somebody who has a hobby that they're doing in their garage or their basement, and you keep saying to them, you ought to sell that and make great business, put them in touch. Look for our events on Facebook, follow us on social media, sign up for our newsletter. There's always something going on. And it's not just, we don't promote EforAll, we promote the businesses in our community. So you're going to learn a lot about what's going on around you that you may not have known was there. So if you want to get plugged in to your community, EforAll is a great way to do that.
Well, awesome. Donna, thank you very much for taking the time to come on the show today. Thank you all the folks out there that are listening on WARA or watching us on AACS. Another big shout out to Dave Angel, who has the patience to deal with me, to deal on this show from AACS. We appreciate their support. We've partnered with them for way before I even got here. So, folks, thank you once again. Hope to see you next week. And everybody, please stay safe.